Boo! Scared you, didn't I? Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of All the Mod 7 to the Sky. Guys, last episode, we were working on a whole bunch of these 4X blocks, right? And we have gotten quite a bit of them done. Off camera, I went ahead and I finished up the Obsidian one. Obsidian did have EMC, so we were able to go ahead and turn coal into obsidian and then compress it here using a compacting drawer, and then using recipes and applied energistics to finish off the craft. So yeah, we were able to get that all done. We had plenty of netherrack and all these other things that we were able to do, finish up the clay. Yeah, I mined a bunch of the soul sand. We got that one done. We already had the gravel in the system. We made blackstone through EMC, etc. So we are left with 2 of these different blocks remaining that we don't have enough stuff to complete. So the emerald block, I was kind of looking at this one, and I was thinking, how are we going to get emeralds, right? Oh, we can get it through essence. Let's make these seeds. Or we can get it through diamonds and convert it through the philosopher's stone. Yeah, let's back up just a moment here. I was looking at the system. I was like, oh yeah, we have 49,000 emeralds. How did we get those? So yeah, I went back into JEI here and I searched, and sure enough, we were getting those through sifting, right? So this is the way we're gonna finish off getting the rest of our emeralds. In fact, we need to get this thing set up right now. So with the netherite mesh going, we get 2 different rolls, one at a 1.6% and one at a 0.8% chance. And then when those rolls hit, as we've seen before, since we are using the netherite upgrade, we get, I think it's 64. I can't remember what it is. We get a bunch of emeralds, and then the fortune gets applied to that as well. Anyway, so it's more than just 1 every time when it does hit it, actually. So let's edit this. We will turn that on, whitelist it, so we should be filling this up full of gravel. We are, and as we can see here, we are collecting stuff. Yeah, so you can see when we collect things, we are getting more than just 1 item at a time. Yeah, fortune's being applied, and then the netherite upgrade boost is also being applied. I was kind of hoping we'd see emerald real quick, but since it's such a low % chance, I don't think we're gonna see that. Oh, there's 2 stacks in a row. Wow. Okay. So yes, we are collecting emeralds now. So if we go back to our system and take a look here and we do emerald 4X, you can see we're missing 121 1X blocks. Yeah. So that's going to be a minute. So, but we have the emeralds going into a compacting drawer somewhere. Yeah, right here. So the emerald goes in here. It turns into the block. When we get 9 of these, well, when we get 9 emeralds, we get 1 block. We get 9 blocks, we get 1 more of those. So that has to hit quite a few times for us to get the 121 more of them, but it won't take forever. I mean, we're already mostly there. So yeah, not a big deal. Next thing on our list of things to do is this red sand. So this, on the other hand, is something that is more complicated for us to do. So we can make fire essence and dirt essence and make 16 of these at a time, which means we have to make all these seeds and then craft it. So that's something that we're going to look at. Is there any other methods here for us to do this? We can crush terracotta into red sand. We can alchemy catalyst terracotta into red sand. Terracotta, is there a good way for us to get it? We could smelt clay. So I guess we could EMC a bunch of clay balls, turn it into clay, smelt it, and then throw it into the Botania situation to get this. Is that what we want to do? How much red sand do we actually need? I don't remember. Isn't it something like 4,000, 4,600, something like that? Let's make all of the recipe here. So there's this one, then we will make the 3X and the 2X. And oh, I gotta click this button. It's like, why can I not pull that out of there? Because I'm pressing the wrong button. And this one, okay, and then we just need the red sand to top that all off. So we'll just see if we can find a home for these recipes in here. How about this spot right here? Next to the soul sand and the netherite, or netherrack. Okay, so that was red sand. Next, so we need 6,500 terracotta. So if we were to take a look at clay, we have 700 clay in here. I mean, that's not bad. I feel like this is the way we're going to do it, actually. It'll give us a chance to get some more Britannia happening and use our furnaces and all this kind of stuff. So the only thing we're going to need now is something to convert EMC-wise into clay. So oh, what did I just do? I meant to take this clay ball and stick that there. So we need to, what do we need to do? We need to grab some coal, I think is what we're going to do. We still got 641,000 of this stuff, and I think we're collecting more from sifting, actually. So yeah, we just got some more, so that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and fill up our inventory. Like so, and then we'll just throw that all into here, which will make the clay balls. Clay balls come into the compacting drawer, turn into the clay blocks, and that, with the full inventory, is 1.8 thousand of those. We need to do this a few more times. Oops. Actually, do the clay blocks? No, I'm sorry, the coal blocks. I was going to ask if those had EMC so we could do this a little bit easier with fewer clicks. But it doesn't look like that's the case, but that's fine. I can go ahead and fill up my inventory like 2 more times and throw that all in here. And we should have pretty close to what we need. I think 1 more time we'll do it. Or get us relatively close either way. We're at 5,400. Yeah, this will definitely finish it up. Okay, so we needed 68 and we're at 7.2. All right, very good. So now we need to take this clay, we need to smelt that into terracotta. Okay, so we need a recipe to do that. So let's figure that one out. So this, smelting this one, boom. I don't have any more blank patterns. Of course not. Blank pattern, here we go. Right, so do we have in the factory, our smelting factory, we do have a spot. Okay, so now we need to tell this to make, how much was it again? Red sand, it was 60 something, 6,500. 6,561 terracotta. Oh, we already have that. 6,561. Next, do it. Right. Okay. So that's going to take a little bit of time for that to process. But now that we have the terracotta, all we got to do is just take that over to our Britannia area. Does that have the right thing underneath it? Let's take a look here. Alchemy catalyst. I think that's the alchemy catalyst. Hopefully that's the alchemy catalyst. I think that's an alchemy catalyst. Okay, so we're able to do half of it. There's a stack of red sand. Boom. Okay, so we are almost there. We just need like a bazillion times more. Well, after about 15 minutes or so, all of the terracotta went ahead and got smelted. I've turned some of it into red sand already, but I kind of want to show you guys how how I'm doing that. Like obviously we threw one stack into the thing, so you saw that. But if you throw in multiple stacks, it can do multiple at the same time, right? It works on one stack at a time, but like with multiple of them, yeah, it just goes faster and faster. Whoop, get that in there too. So yeah, it doesn't take super long. I think the longest part actually is just putting it all in there, and then once it's all done, I just turn my magnet on and off. I did notice though that we are no longer sending mana from this pool to our battery, but you can see like this isn't that low, so all of that converting isn't using a whole heck of a lot of mana, but we should throw a new star over there to keep our mana full. So let's grab a star, just one, and we just need to toss it down right like so. And this thing should still be operational. Yeah, I just picked it up and dropped it back down, and now we are refilling our mana supply. Is that what you call this? I guess. Yeah, so that's being refilled from the star and our wither aconite. Okay, so yeah, we just need a little bit more of the terracotta here. This, yeah, just less than a full inventory, and then that will be all the red sand that we need in order to make the block here. If I could figure out how to actually land on this glass so we can get this going. So we did have a little bit of extra terracotta before, so I'm making a little bit of extra red sand. It's not going to be a big deal though. I don't think we're using that terracotta really for anything else, and if we need it for something else, we can always make more. We got 1.3 thousand blocks of of clay there. So I think we're going to be good. All right, so red sand, we can make the 4x block now. Yep. Well, let's go ahead and craft that, or at least queue it up. It's going to take a little bit of time for that craft to finish. So we wanted to check in on the emerald. The emerald block here, the 4x, we are still needing 68 of the 1x block. So, I mean, we're about halfway from where we started the episode. That's not bad. All right, so yeah, we just got to wait for the rest of that sifting to happen so we can collect more emeralds, and then we will be done with that portion. Whew. All right, so we now have enough emerald blocks, or emeralds, or however you want to look at it, in order to make our emerald block 4x so we can start this thing up. Just out of curiosity, if we wanted to make another one of these, whoops, it's up here now. It's like, where's the thing? Yeah, so we're missing 722 emerald blocks. How many emeralds are we down to? We're down to 617. Wow, okay, so we just barely got enough. Well, there it is anyway, our emerald block 4x. So that completes all of these items that we needed in order to make this dimensional seed. So we should just be able to take these out now and do one of these numbers, and boom, there it is. Oh, I got another blackstone block in there. All right, so now that we have that done, we completed another quest, which is pretty awesome. So we will take this, and we'll take this, which is a Twilight Forest. What is this thing? Master of the Dimensions. It is a giant sword. Oh, that's actually pretty cool. Does this thing render? Oh, it does. This thing is amazing. Probably one of the best items you can get in the Twilight Forest. Just simply for the lols, right? There's a giant pick that you can get too, and I think maybe a giant shovel. Well, at least a pick I know for sure, but yeah, this thing's ridiculous. And when put it on a pedestal, that's what the item itself renders like. It is pretty big compared to like a normal size item. Yep. So yeah, there we go. Another one of our creative sections completed, which is fantastic. So I was looking to see where we could go next for our next creative section. I was kind of looking at this one. This is going to have to, or this is going to make us get into create, and we're going to have to do a bunch of stuff with concrete, which I don't know. It didn't really sound that interesting to me right now. I mean, it doesn't seem like it'll be that difficult, but we will have to get all the different dyes and stuff. But yeah, it's just going to be what, sand and gravel, and then combining that into water, which we already have a thing set up downstairs. I think right here is where I was making my white concrete before. Yeah, so white concrete turned into the solidified concrete through the fluid encapsulator there. So that's a thing that we could work on, but we haven't touched Crete yet in this playthrough. And I don't know, I'm just not really feeling like jumping into it at the moment. So Wither's Compass, this is another one that we could do. This is going to require us to have a bunch of antimatter pellets for each one of these gravitational modulating units. And it looks like we need 3 of those. How much antimatter do we have, just out of curiosity? None. Perfect. We have none of that stuff. That's just what I want to see. Okay. Another thing that we could do, unobtainium, 28 unobtainium dash all the modium alloy blocks. This is one that I'm a little worried about, guys. This is one that I am a little worried about. Okay, so we need 28 of those, which means we're going to need 28 times 9, however many ingots that's going to be of this stuff. And in order to make this alloy, casting can only be done through having the unobtainium all the modium alloy cast onto the piglet hearts, which we have. That's not an issue. Let's actually bookmark this so we can go back later. So that, and then that. Okay, so this unobtainium all the modium alloy, we need unobtainium and all the modium mixed together in a smeltery in order to do that using soul lava. Soul lava is fine. We have that. So let's take a look at unobtainium for a moment here. So I was trying to figure out how we're going to get that much unobtainium, right? So we can do it through a dust. We can do it through an ingot. We can melt the ore directly, but the ore is player mineable only, not quarryable. So does this mean that every piece of unobtainium that we have to get in this series is going to be player obtained only? Is there no other way for us to get that, like later game, anything like that? And it's not really looking like it. I'm not seeing EMC on any of these things, for instance, right? I don't think there's any other way to obtain this stuff. Clicking on this yields nothing else. Clicking on this, we're taking that ore with a hammer, we're getting this thing. Maybe there's something, if I drill down somewhere, I can find something. The only other thing I can think of, unobtainium. Let's click down here. Unobtainium. Okay, so yeah, the only other thing I can think of is the unobtainium B. So we have either going out and mining by hand or the B. Okay, so let's take a look at the B real quick, just so we can be on the same page. So it's going to require some breeding to get here, first of all. So that's going to be a whole thing by itself. But once we get to the unobtainium B, right? Once we are here, this thing will produce an unobtainium comb. This is what we would need, right? So that would produce getting unobtainium nuggets. So 9 of those turns into an ingot, right? Yeah, so that would be a way for us to automatically do this. Great. So I was thinking about this, and we have already done something similar, right? We've already done something similar with iridium. We set up our bees over here. Let's actually sleep real quick. We set up our bees over there. Oh, yeah, I was messing with the R's stuff over here. I noticed that this middle jar was empty. I was like, what's going on? Did one of our links break or whatever? So I was messing around with the wand or whatever to reconnect stuff. Yeah, turns out I stopped growing plants over here. So it had no source coming in, and then it ran out because it was farming the piglet hearts using that stuff, right? Yeah, go figure. Anyway, so I just put in some essence plants over there. What were we doing? I lost my train of thought. Right, so we were looking at the bees. And we have already done this before with this bee right here. We have 5 of our iridium bees, and these guys have been going for quite some time, right? We needed iridium fairly early on in this playthrough. So these bees have been going the entire time, like, I don't know, last 30, 40 episodes, however long it's been. Let's take a look at how much iridium we have. We have 2,099 iridium ingots after all of that time. And that's with me going out and mining some and getting some other stuff and doubling the ores and this and that. Yeah, I'm not so sure. that that is going to be something. Did those guys even make a comb this time? I don't. Oh yeah, they made 8 iridium combs, which is going to give us up to 16 nuggets, which would be like 1.5 ingot. Yeah, I'm not so sure that these bees are actually what we would want to do, or that we would be able to do. Like, if this was on a server and this was running all the time, even when I wasn't playing, maybe that would be a viable option. It would just be running like all the time. But I am playing the single player, so I'm not sure that's going to be an option for us. So, unobtainium. Our other option is using the unobtainium site charms and the potions or whatever, and then going out and mining this stuff manually. So that is going to be a lot of unobtainium that we're going to need. Going back to this real quick, so the unobtainium alloy, how much of this did we even need? Let's just take a look at this real quick. Was it this one? This one. I can't remember. Well, this one needs unobtainium blocks directly. No, we were looking at this one over here. That's 28. This one right here, Master of Space, requires 2 unobtainium block 2x's. That's 2 of these. So that means that's going to be 18 of the 1x, which means that's going to be 18 times 9 of the unobtainium block, which means that's going to be 18 times 9 times 9 of the unobtainium ingots. So that is a lot of ingots that we are going to need in order to get this one done, let alone the other one that we're looking at, right? Oh my goodness. So, guys, is there a way for us to get that unobtainium stuff besides the bees? Are we just going to have to go out and manually mine every single ore? Oh my goodness, guys. You know how long that's going to take? Literally forever. I don't got that kind of time. I don't know about you guys, but I don't. So Besides that, what else do we have here? So let's just go back to this one real quick. So quantum catcher, nuke. I think we already made a nuke before, didn't we? Didn't we make a nuke? I feel like we made a nuke. Maybe, you know what? We can autocraft nukes. We did make a nuke and we set it off. I remember now. Yes, we did. We did make one and we set it off. Okay, so this one requires us to get a Snow Queen trophy, which means we need to fight the Snow Queen for every one of these things. How many of these do we need? Oblivion shard. What is that used for? One Oblivion shard is used to make the ATM star. The ATM star is how we get like these creative items. And that's basically all of these things that we have been making right now. Like the Dragon Soul, the Nexium emitter, these Philosopher Fuel, like all of these creative items that we have been making are going into being able to make one ATM star. So that means we're actually going to have to make multiple of all of these things in order to like make all of the items in this pack. I don't know if we're actually going to be doing that or not, but that is what it's going to take. ATM star is the very center item here. That does require, us to get into all of this stuff here. Looks like there's actually a separate recipe where we can do ATM star shards plus a Patrick star in order to make more of them. How do we get the star shard? That's from bees. Okay. Yeah, I don't think that's something that we're really going to be able to do unless we just make a bazillion of these bees. That's a Patrick bee, turns into that when you give it an ATM star block. All right, so we'd have to make 9 of those and a Patrick bee in order to just make one. Okay. Yeah. Oh, wait, you can just fish for this particular bee? Huh. Interesting. So you don't actually have to do a lot of breeding, but you do have to make the star block, which is going to be a whole lot of things in and of itself. Okay. Well, I honestly didn't mean to go on a rant there for a while, but like you guys need to know what we're dealing with here in order for us to be on the same page, right? So is there another way for us to get these different metals? Is that the only way for us to do it, is either manually mining or using those bees? Because using the bees is essentially pointless for us, because that means I'd have to be logged into the world and AFKing, right? Or they'd only be producing very little while I'm actually playing. It would take like another 40 episodes or so worth of time before we would get enough of that stuff for it to even matter. Yeah, it just doesn't feel like the time investment is really worth it for doing that particular thing. And then the other thing is, if the only other way to do it is manually mining, yeah, I don't know about all of that, guys. So let me know in the comments down below. Let me know. What do you guys know about this pack? What do you know about getting more of that ATM material? Is there something I'm overlooking? Hopefully there is. But yeah, anyway, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like on this episode if you liked it, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.